Hello, everybody. My name is Aaron.
My name is Mike, and welcome to the Amped Golf Podcast. How you doing today, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. 51 days till the
I know it's going to
Masters.
be so nice when that
It's
happens.
coming.
I'm so excited.
It's coming. Now, I got a question for you. Do you think the Champions Dinner should be televised?
No, I don't know. I feel like that's something that's like a kind of private-ish.
Absolutely. In
Yeah.
in in any other year, I would agree with you.
But
We're going to have Live and PGA Tour players at this dinner.
I
Is
don't
there
think there's
going
going
to
to
be
be
tense?
I don't think there's going to be any tension. I don't think that people
Some
going
golfers think there could be.
I feel like Augusta National, like that golf course, it kind of commands a specific respect, when you're there. I don't think any
Yeah.
player is going to risk any like tension or any fighting or anything like that during
Well,
the
I
dinner.
don't know that there'd be fighting, but tension I could possibly see. I
Who
mean, Patrick Reed's going to be there.
Right. So it's just Patrick Reed and DJ are the only two people that are on live, right?
No,
Who Well, Phil. Yeah.
Phil, Mr. Garcia.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sergio. I forget about Sergio.
Yeah. I mean, there could be some tension there. Tiger will be there. He's a staunch supporter of Rory's. He hasn't been the mouthpiece that Rory has been, but
Right.
he supports Rory because he's in business with him with that
Right.
Tomorrow Sports League. So it could be interesting. There's going to be no conflict with DJ, none, because DJ's probably the least confrontational person
Oh
out there,
yeah.
right? I mean, he's so laid back all the
Right.
time. So I'm not worried about DJ. I'm not really worried about Sergio, although Sergio, we've seen him do things on the golf course. Phil, Phil's mouth has gotten into trouble,
That's true.
and
I
Reed
feel
is
like at
Reed.
that point, probably not at the champions dinner, but I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there might be a little bit of back and forth going on in there, but I don't know. To be a fly on the wall for that dinner though would be awesome. Just to be able to hear some of the conversation. It will never be televised though. I don't see that ever being televised.
Right. So I don't know if this is an actual quote attributed to Tiger, if it was somebody being funny, but there is something being attributed to Tiger. Apparently, when asked about the comments Phil made about a Ryder Cup style match between Liv and the PGA, Tiger came out and said, of course, Phil wants there to be something between Liv and the PGA in that kind of event.
Right.
That's the only time people will watch Liv players.
Yeah. Of course it is. I mean, so I didn't. You told me last night to go check out some Facebook groups for Live because I haven't gotten around to it, but I can only imagine the stuff that's being said on there because that's all it is. It's just Live talking shit about the PGA Tour.
Now, it happens on both sides, right?
It does happen on both sides. Yes, agreed.
It happens on both sides. However, I follow a lot of the Live stuff, and there are players, or not players, sorry. There are people on the Live boards, especially on Facebook, that will not allow back and forth to happen. And their comments are they're so rude and so intense about their support for Liv and their hatred of the dead PGA Tour. It's funny. It makes me laugh. I've laughed out loud a few times reading some of the stuff because if they could actually hear themselves saying it rather than typing it, I think they might step back for a second and go, huh, okay. But their hatred for Rory is at an all-time high. They hate Rory, not all of them, but the ones that are, I equate it to politics, right? You're either far left or far right, and oh my God, it's just extremism to the umpteenth level. That's what the Live boards are for me. They're very, very extreme. And the PGA is dead. And look at the tournament. And there's a couple of them that are posting constantly about how the attendance is down consistently across the board at PGA. Blah blah blah.
Well, It's funny you should say that because at last week's Waste Management Open, they had the highest attendance records ever, and it's the first time in tournament history that they had to cap ticket sales.
Wow. Imagine that.
Crazy. It's dead.
PGA
dead.
Tour is dead.
Yeah.
What people want to see, and this is where I miss some of the live players, right, is the best players playing against the best players consistently,
right,
and at big events, because that's what we want to see as golf fans.
Right.
I want to see the best all the time. Does that mean I'm not going to watch an event that doesn't include 17 of the top 20 players? No, I'll probably still watch a bit of it here and there, because even the players that are not in the top 20 or the top 50 or the top 100 are still miles better than any of us. And it's still fun to watch him hit shots. And it's fun to watch him throw clubs, Max Homa. So
did he throw a club?
He did throw a club, and it was a pretty good throw. It wasn't a Jeff throw, right, where he broke the shaft, because that was an epic throw. But he did throw a club out of a sand trap, out of a shot. He mishit out of a sand trap. So anyway, I just thought that there could be some tension. It might make for good drama. I wonder if Netflix will be there filming it, because aren't they doing a season 2 already?
I think so, yeah.
So they would have had to start it at the beginning of the year anyway. And that starts tomorrow night, by the way. It's 8 episodes. I did find out more about it. They basically have a player highlighted in each episode where they follow the player. So people like Ricky Fowler, who doesn't have his own episode, is just here. He's in here and there throughout the series.
Sure.
And some players like Tony Finau said, all access, you got it. All access all the time.
Cool.
And other players like Rory said, nothing in the car, nothing when I'm with my family, nothing in my house, stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see if it's done well. It has to be better done, I hope anyway, than the LPGA All Access that's out on YouTube called Drive On. And I watched the first episode. It was about 22 minutes long. The Netflix is going to be 45 minutes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it just does not do enough to highlight and make the LPGA more exciting than it is. And I hope the Netflix documentary does that for the PGA Tour, because I do agree with as the people like me and Jeff, the older guys, as we get older, we're not the target audience anymore.
Right.
The PGA and golf in general has to attract younger crowds. That's what makes good so appealing to people.
Sure.
They bring in a lot of the younger generations to golf. But you got to watch it and tell me what you think. I didn't think it was done very well, to be honest. It could have been so much more than it was. So I was very disappointed on it. Jeff's going to watch it. I suggest you watch it. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about it next week versus Netflix's series, which again is out tomorrow.
Are they releasing? Do we know if they're releasing it as like episode by episode, or I'm assuming they're just going to dump it all on there?
I don't know. So, we'll find out tomorrow when we turn it on and watch it.
Yeah,
and see what it looks like. If they do, I'm going to binge watch the whole thing this week, and we'll be able to report on it next week's show. See if it's any good anyway. So, and speaking of Augusta, they changed the 13th hole
again.
They lengthened it by 35 yards from 510 to 545, added a new back tee to it. A lot of people are not happy about this because it takes the risk reward portion out of it, right? Because those trees on the right side come into play.
Right.
If you hit a bad shot, you could be in the pine straw up there. It can make it challenging. And they're thinking that it's not going to add more drama. It's going to make what is been year over year consistently since the opening and start of the tournament, however many years ago, the easiest hole on Augusta, and they're going to change it a little bit. So
listen, that's the way that Augusta wants to set it up. That's how they're going to set it up. So there's really nothing that we can do about it, but we can see how it plays in a couple months.
Right. So it's going to take that par 5 that was very gettable. If you hit the right drive, right, you could hit a wedge in basically.
Right. They wanted it because that's the one you can cut you can take off the corner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that Augusta doesn't like that. So I would imagine that they're going to try to put a stop to that as much as possible. Not saying that it won't ever happen still, because I'm sure some bombers can probably do something there.
Well, it's only 535. How many people are going to hit the ball, 320, 330? A lot, right? So,
Right.
it does change what you have to do. And actually, it might let some people go for it a little bit more with that added 35 yards where they can hit a driver rather than a 3-wood or something off of it because they don't have to worry about going into trees now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait for the tournament this year. Did you see the streaker at the Waste Management?
Yeah, I did. It was funny. I mean, he had that mullet and everything. Yeah, it was
Oh my
a good time.
God. That was just crazy. I loved it. Who was it? Not Harry Higgs. Oh, John Daly goes, yeah, the streaker. The only thing that could have made that better if it was Paige sporadic, because that's what everybody wants to see.
Yeah.
So, and interestingly enough, him and Paige are doing something together where they're playing 9 holes, and you can win a chance to caddy for one of them. So I think that'd be cool to caddy for John Daly. So that'd be awesome. Ricky Fowler.
I was going to talk about that. He's kind of
Is he back?
He looks better than he has in the last few years.
Is he back?
Butch Harmon coaching, it seems to have helped him a lot.
So in the previous 2 seasons, he only had 2 top 10s and 46 events played. So since when? Since 7 events, 8 events this season, he's got 10. He's finished in the top 10 3 times, and he almost won the Zozo, if you remember.
Yeah.
So he got a 3rd top 10 this weekend. He got a nice ace on the 7th hole with 216 yards. I don't remember which one it was. He looks like he's more confident. He looks like he's hitting the ball well. Did you get a chance to see any of his shots at all?
I did. Yeah, I watched that hole in one a few times. For some reason, ESPN Plus on Hulu only does like featured holes, at least for the package that I have. So like it was featured hole 16, and then after that, they never showed another shot to finish off the tournament, which I was really, really frustrated with.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But, I did get a chance to watch the last bit that I could, and it was a good tournament. I mean, a lot of good stuff happened this week. A lot of good, you had Rom finishing 3rd place, JT with a 4th place finish, Rory with a not Rory, sorry, Jason Day finished in 5th place. So
and
that's crazy.
It looked like he was going to actually do something.
Yeah.
He kind of faded a bit, but his putting has been unreal. And he said that he putts. He loves putting. He will putt hours a day. So,
I mean, I'm happy with it. Looks like Xander Schauffele got me a top 10 finish for that. So that's some good money there for me. Pretty happy.
He did. How old do you think Ricky is?
34.
He is 34. Isn't that scary to think that he's 34?
2 years older than me.
You still think of him as a kid sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
God, 34. I'm getting friggin' old. Not only is Tiger Woods hosting this week's Genesis Invitational, but he's playing. Tiger's back. Woo, TW. Love it, right? Exciting. Yeah, the Live fanboys are all over this.
Of course they are.
The PGA is struggling, so they have to roll out, broken Tiger Woods to get attendance and viewers up.
It's one of the most. I mean, this is what the one tournament of the year, not the one tournament, but one of the tournaments of the year that players look forward to, because this golf course, players love it. I mean, they love playing here.
Yeah, this is a big one
stops on tour.
This is a big one for Homa because he loves this course and he's won here before.
Last year that he won?
I don't remember if it was last year. But he said, jokingly, of course, he goes, I imagine we're going to have to carry Tiger down that hill on number 1 and up the hill on number 18. So, but for everything I'm seeing, and from some of the stuff I've heard from Tiger, if he couldn't walk it, he wouldn't play it. And he was looking to come back earlier than this, but he had that plantar fasciitis issue. So if he's strong enough and he's walking, he's got to contend, right? I mean, he's got to make the cut.
He's never won here before, ever.
But he's got to make the cut, right?
Who knows? I'm excited to see him play again. It'll be fun to watch him get out and play. Nice. I know that there's a lot of people, myself included, that are interested to see how he's swinging, what he can do. I don't expect him to win. I don't really expect him to do much this tournament because this isn't one that he's really done well in previously. I mean, ever. So we'll see. But I don't think he's going to really do much. He'll probably make the cut.
If he makes the cut, that's a victory, right?
For sure. Yeah. If he plays the weekend, I think that's a good sign.
I agree. And regardless of how you feel about the OWGR system and the points and all that stuff, it feels really damn good to watch a tournament and see all the heavyweights there and them representing themselves very well and basically seeing a slugfest, right? And seeing the best go against the best. And even though Tony picked Scotty to win, there was no way I was picking Scotty to win because he hadn't really done a ton lately. So
back-to-back for him
win is awesome.
Yeah, that's a back-to-back. So he won his first tournament last year at the WM and then went on to win like what, four more times after that.
He won four in a row?
4 out of 6, I think is what
4 out of 6 is that, including the Masters for his first major, which was still iconic on that last hole where he 3-putted, 4-putted?
Yeah. I think he 3-putted.
That was just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, put the ball in the hole, just finish it off. Still wanted to see Cam do something against on that last day with him. Battle back and forth all the way to the end. That would have been awesome. It's too bad he fell off. Looking forward to watching him play there again this year, though.
Me too. It'll be nice to see him play again. I haven't watched him play anything since the Open.
Right.
That was the last tournament that I saw him play because he went to live after that. So.
Yeah. So when the live attorneys revealed that they made no money last year, I didn't know this, but they blamed the PGA Tour about making no money. They said, and this is a quote from them, that it was due to an anti-competitive conduct from the PGA Tour. And then they came out and also argued that some players not under contract past this year risk being unable to golf in the future if the courts don't side in their favor on this litigation. They risk being unable to earn a living in their chosen profession during the prime of their careers. Some player plaintiffs are not under contract with LIV past 2023 and are banned from the PGA Tour, the European Tour, and other tours around the world, Lawyers for LIV Golf wrote. They knew they were going to get banned by the PGA Tour because the PGA Tour said so.
They
still decided to sign the contract.
Yep.
How are you blaming the PGA Tour for this?
It's not their fault.
I don't know.
Wild.
It's ridiculous, and we won't know anything that happened. Any rulings from last week's DP Tour World Tour hearings for probably 2 to 3 more weeks. So I tried to find some stuff, and they said, it's going to take a couple weeks to sort it out. So nothing there, no new news there. LIV Golf is hoping that their new campaign, 12 Teams You Choose, is going to help build rivalries. And they say that their diversity in teams that feature elite skill sets and unique personalities will help to build new rivalries and fresh ways to watch professional golf as the sport enters a new era.
I'm sorry, but new era. They're not doing anything crazy. They're not changing the sport. I don't know. I'm kind of it's just one of those things where it's just like at some point they have to do something good and there's nothing good that's really come out of it. The team plays the best part. That's the best thing LIV's done so far.
I agree. It's the best part.
Yeah.
And it's done with the worst possible names and logos.
Worst. I mean, the absolute worst possible. I mean, they should rehire all their marketing people because those names are not good.
Hey, man, I'm going to get myself a Range Goat.
It's so bad.
Shirt and support the Range Goats, right?
Yeah.
And the Niblets and the Cliques and whatever else. I think it's ridiculous. So there's a story that came out that I thought was really interesting about the PGA Tour. And in 2024, they might take some of these designated elevated events and change them into limited field, no cut tournaments. AKA LIV Golf.
AKA LIV Golf.
I mean, come on, man. Dude, they already have what, 4 or 5 no cut limited field stuff
Right.
with the playoffs, and they
Yeah.
have a couple other tournaments, right?
Right.
Do we really need more?
No.
I don't think so either. And
Well, that's the
stop
whole point. Like,
copying them.
right. That's the whole point at the end. Like the playoffs, the tour championship, and everything like that. Like, that's what it's for. You get the top 75 players at the
Right.
end, and they all compete, and they're incrementally eliminated throughout that process. I don't think they need to limit the field on these bigger events. I think it's better for them if they have a full field every time, because
Right.
it creates
Because
more
then
drama.
Joe Golfer
Right.
from his first year on tour
Like
comes
Sahith
out of
Theegala
nowhere
last year.
and wins, right?
Right. Or like Sahith Theegala last year.
Yeah. We
getting
want to
in
see
second
these
place.
younger guys,
Yeah.
don't we?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I thought so.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I'm all
I
for
think
that.
it's crazy that they're doing that.
Yeah, me too.
We don't need them to do more limited field events.
It's also it's one of those things where like Liv didn't make any money. It's not a model that's working. So why are you trying to copy it?
Well, the PGA Tour is to blame for it not working, obviously. So
Right.
I don't know. I think it's dumb. I don't want to see it. I think they have enough limited field events. What I want to see is them expand into, and we've been talking about this for a long time, expand into bringing other tours in and doing mixed field stuff. Do more of that.
Yes.
That's what I want to see. And
Right.
mic them up when it's appropriate.
Right.
And the players are okay with it. I want to hear what's going on. Listening to that player caddy interaction is great. I love
it. Would be cool. You know, I'm excited for that Rory and Tiger thing that they're doing.
Right.
I think it'd be cool. Like we were talking about last week with like events and games, and something that I was thinking about would be, it would be cool to see people play a tournament where they couldn't use a driver or a 3-wood, irons only.
Yeah.
Something like that, or
choose your 4 clubs.
Yeah, choose 4 clubs. That's all you can use. Play 9 holes or something like that, and
Right.
switch it up. Bring something fresh.
Right.
Just stop trying to make things that don't work.
Yeah, that's something that I liked watching with Bryson DeChambeau and his channel, is he's played some 6-9 hole matches using a 6-iron, using a wet, using something, right? And he's like, it makes you have to think through your shots. You have to become creative. How are you going to hit a 6-iron out of a bunker where you need to hit a flop shot?
Right.
And voila, pulls it off.
What are you going to do from 90 yards with a 6-iron, or like say you're 110 yards in? What are you going to do to get it to stop on the green? Or you have to adjust and change your thinking. And I think that's super interesting too.
Yeah, I think it is too. I think it's one of the best things that DeChambeau does in his channels, and I really enjoy watching that stuff. So speaking of Bryson, Ping confirmed that he visited their company and was out there testing some golf clubs to see what was going on, because he's a free agent. His contract with Cobra Puma has expired at the end of last year. So now he's out there apparently trying all kinds of different stuff. Cobra wasn't really, I don't know, kind isn't the right word. I think they weren't really kind about it. Basically, they said, I wish him all the best, but it's going to be a struggle just because of what he wants. This is from Cobra Puma's PGA Tour rep, Ben Showman. He's been basically somebody that Bryson had on speed dial and just handled every request from Bryson. He said it was, he thinks that you can do anything with a driver, that he wants something that he can hit anywhere in the face and not lose anything.
Then he can create it himself.
Right. He thinks that he should be able to hit a driver off of anywhere in the face and still find a fairway. And Showman obviously said it, with increased speed, it demands increased precision. It's like a race car. You got to be a better driver when you're running at 200 miles an hour than you do at 75 miles an hour.
Right.
The amount of time invested by the R&D team at Cobra was just outstanding. It was huge. They haven't shut the door on him though. Like they said, if maybe we could get him back, maybe we'll get him back, So it's going to be interesting to see where he ends up with. He was seen with the TaylorMade driver in his hands, which is interesting because both
Tiger and Rory.
Grant,
Oh yeah, that's
Horvat,
true.
and Micah Morris are
And
with TaylorMade now.
and they've all done videos with him too. So
Yeah, and they've done
wouldn't be
videos with
surprised.
him. And it's interesting because those two are going down the exact same road. Good went with their Callaway endorsement, right? So they are playing with Callaway backed pros. Micah and Grant just released a video together with Taylor Montgomery and somebody else. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry. So you can go out and watch that. It's interesting that they wanted to go and do their own thing, but they've teamed together and they're together a lot. They're together in
I've also
everything.
noticed that.
So it kind of makes you go, what really happened at Good? But I'm not sure. I heard that they want to move to Florida, both of them. So maybe the Florida Texas thing just wouldn't have worked, and that's the reason for it. If that's so, hey, whatever.
I mean, it's probably nothing nefarious. I know people, you look in the comment sections and on the Good subreddit, and for a long time, I mean, it was people just being mad and spreading rumors about them infighting and stuff like that. But I don't think that
I don't
was
think
the
there's
case.
any infighting.
And Good's fine. I like Quan. I think Luke Quan is a great addition to that channel. He fits in well with all the guys, and it's still
his
fun
thought
to
process
watch.
is different because he was a pro at one time. So some of the things he says really hits home. Like don't give up the cup ever on a putt. Just go at it when you have to
every time. Yep.
Yeah, every time. So, Scheffler comes back, defends his title at WM Phoenix Open, and regains the world number one. So
let's see how long he keeps it. I think if he wins a couple more this year, he's going to hold on to it again for the entire season, and he's just going to.
I agree. Couple wins puts anybody with the way the system is right up top, right? He was in a battle early with Nick Taylor. Who's Nick Taylor, by the way? Who knows, right? One of the new guys. And he was able to win by 2 shots. McIlroy good. Wasn't really a factor.
Scheffler looked scary good again.
He looked like himself, right?
He looked this again. I really think, and I know we've talked about it. I think that you're going to see him around for a long time. He's going to win a lot on tour. Yep. He's only been on tour for a couple years, and he has 6 wins under his belt now, or 5 wins under his belt. Some guys play on tour for 30 years and don't win that many times.
How many wins does Ricky have? 5 or 6?
5 or 6, yeah. I would love to see Ricky Fowler win again this year. I mean,
that would be
huge. Would be amazing.
It would be huge if he did. So Scheffler entered Sunday with a 2-shot lead after shooting 368 on Saturday. Taylor and John Rahm were at 11 under after 54 holes. I really thought Rahm was going to do something.
He just couldn't put it together.
Never really put it together.
No, nope.
Which is fine.
He held on to it though. He didn't do anything crazy. 3rd place finish is really good still. He's having a great year too. So
Rahm is scary good.
Yeah, I mean, good.
He's been at the top of pretty much every tournament, right?
Yeah.
So
he's played.
I'm keeping him in my pocket. I have to. I can't.
Me too. He's a major pick for me. That's my Rahm is going to be a major pick, like a U.S. Open, or part of me also wants to pick him for the Masters over Rory. It's just one of those things where leading up to it, it will depend on where they're, how they're playing.
Right. I agree. Tony picked Scotty to win.
Good job, Tony.
$3.6 million, right? So that's gonna vault him to number 1. Scott. Oh my God. Jeff had Morikawa, who didn't make the cut. So he gets nothing. You had Xander with the top 10. So you're gonna get a nice little payday. And I had Max Homa. I thought Max was gonna do very well here. I should have saved him for this week and put him up there this week, but I thought he was due at this one. So he still got me some money, about 180 grand, but still got to be nothing to keep up with the two of you who are starting to pull away. Again, a win on one of these elevated events and the one and done really, really gets you a ton of money, just a ton of money. So congratulations to Scheffler for winning and regaining world number 1. When you look at the OWGR, the only person that fell other than Rory, who falls to number 2, is Colin Morikawa. who drops down to number 9. He's in danger of getting out of the top 10 if he can't put it together here. Tom Kim slipped a little bit too, with Sam Burns jumping over him from 14 to 15. So that was another change. Everybody else stays the same, with Cam Smith still holding strong at the number 4 spot. So we'll see what happens with Cam.
Dustin
Hopefully
Johnson has fallen out of the top 50 for the first time in 13 years.
Yeah. Bryson's out of the top 100. And Phil's what, number 264 or something like that? It's just something ridiculous.
Yep.
And this is where the cries of the OWGR is not fair, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that the OWGR is not fair because of that. I just don't like the way the system is. I think Rahm should have gotten number 1 in the world with the beginning of the year that he had. He's just on fire, right?
Right.
But I don't want to get into the OWGR or what can be done to fix it. We've already gone through that. I just think it's broken. And if you're a live golfer, stop your freaking whining. You knew this was going on. You knew it was going to happen. I mean, if they promised you OWGR points, they shouldn't have promised you that. There's a system. There's a path to getting points. I'm not saying you don't deserve points. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that
there's a system and a rule set that's in place. And was in place.
Yeah, before you did this.
Before, it's just,
your own fault. I'm sorry, it's your own fault.
Yeah.
And now that the PGA Tour and DP World Tour leaders have recused themselves from OWGR, the board, they're not holding you back.
Nope.
So, take up your fight somewhere else. I'm tired of hearing the whining about you're not getting points.
And that's part of the reason why I think it drives me so crazy so much, is because that's all it is at the end of the day. It's just people whining about why is this so unfair? Oh, these guys deserve it. They're playing golf too. Like, I play golf. I don't get OWGR points. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's just so frustrating to see these people who don't play golf professionally feel like they have any say in what's happening.
Right. I think I'm going to start a new tour. I'm going to go steal as many players as I can by signing just ridiculous contracts.
Right.
And shame on you guys for you not allowing them to have OWGR points. Even though there's a system in place, it shouldn't impact us.
Right.
Oh, screw you, whatever.
Oh, officer, I am not responsible for speeding. I know, I was told when I got my license that I could drive as fast as I wanted.
When I bought this car, since it can go 200 miles an hour, I should be able to go 200 miles an hour. Good analogy. We haven't used that one before. And no, we don't hate live, all right? We don't like a lot of the things about it. We don't like some of the stuff around it. We don't hate the players at all. We love golf.
Yeah, I love golf.
We just want to see the best players in the world play. Right. I want to see TJ play. I want to see Cam play. But I want to see him play, Max Homa and Tony Finau and Rory McIlroy. I want to see them all together.
Yeah.
If you guys can figure out how to get a real, true worldwide tour on where you play in all the different countries and all the best just do that, I'll watch it. I'll watch it as much of it as I possibly can.
Same.
And then I'll still watch whatever minor tour the PGA Tour turns into after that.
Yeah.
I'll still watch
World Golf Tour.
Yeah. Think about the logistics of that. It's impossible. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
How do you do it? The travel alone would kill you.
Yeah, it'd be insane.
Anyway, Genesis Invitational at Riviera Country Club is up next.
Yes, it is.
Back-to-back elevated events. So we got, 130 entrants into this. So that's 10 more than the approved amount normally. It's $3.6 million to the winner, 550 FedEx Cup points to the winner, and a 3-year PGA Tour membership exemption, a 3-year exemptions into the other invitationals operated by the tour. Big attraction for this tournament. Why wouldn't it be elevated? It's something that you really want to see.
It's huge.
And Riviera is iconic, right? So,
iconic. I mean, it's an iconic event.
It's not like huge from the tips. It's only like 7,300 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have like huge rough or anything like that. But for some reason, you got to be pretty precise on this course, right?
Yep.
So pretty big field. Anybody's there. The odds makers have Rahm at a plus 700, followed by McIlroy, Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, Justin Thomas, Tony Finau, Max Homa, Morikawa I mean, what
I
is
don't think he's going to do anything.
Sanjay M, Victor Hovland, Patrick Cantley, Jordan Spieth, Sam Burns, Cam Young, Will Zalatoris, Jason Day. Zalatoris is an interesting name here.
I think I picked Will. I
I
don't
think you
remember
did
if
too.
I don't
I
remember if I
think you
picked
did
him or
too.
not, but
Jason Day, Tom Kim, Hideki Matsuyama. Is Jason Day back? We didn't even talk about that one. Is
I
he
don't know,
back?
man. Like, okay, there's been a couple tournaments this year where he's been there. I think he might be coming back. I don't know if he's 100% back, but I think he might be there a little bit where we might start seeing him, you know, on the hunt.
Is he back? That's
I hope
interesting.
so.
God, he's such a fun guy to watch play, right? And then
Yeah.
was his back that caused him so many problems?
Yeah, his back. He had some pretty major medical issues after, like during, I think one of the U.S. Opens a few years ago, and really hasn't been the same since. So hopefully he's got that all figured out.
Yeah. Other players that are going to be there that you could pick, Aaron. You know, you could pick Tom Hoagie. That'd be pretty good pick. Terrell Hatton.
Nope.
How about Adam Hadwin
Nope.
or Troy Merritt? You
Nope.
know, it's probably a pretty good pick right there for you.
Who are you picking?
I picked first last time. You forced me to.
Do you have the spreadsheet up?
I do have the spreadsheet up.
Have I picked Ricky Fowler yet this year?
Oh, Aaron, you have not picked Ricky Fowler this year.
That is my pick.
Ooh.
I am going to go out and pick Ricky Fowler this week to give me some points.
Interesting. It's
I
not
think,
a bad pick.
You know, I think a lot of the changes that he's making, he's going back to that old swing that he used to have.
Yeah, he is.
He's working with Butch Harmon again. You know, I think he's back to being consistent, and Ricky being consistent is scary. He can do anything.
Kisner's available. You sure you don't want Kisner?
Positive.
Sepp Straka?
If this was a match play event, I would pick Kevin Kisner.
What about Adam Scott?
He won here not last year, a couple of years ago, like for the first time in 4 years, I think. I'm still not picking Adam Scott.
Someone's game is on the upswing too. I really thought about Adam Scott a lot.
Yeah.
Right. I thought about Adam Scott a lot. I'm like, ooh, talk about a little bit of a flyer there, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going with you. I'm picking Ricky Fowler.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, I can't not pick Ricky here. I love him in this event. I love what he's been doing. His game just looks like it's almost where it needs to be.
Yeah.
This is not a difficult course, right? I don't know what you dug up on a course. We'll get to that in a second. But this is not a hugely difficult course.
It's not a long course, but the fairway grass, the Kayuya grass is difficult to play on. It's spongy. So you have really weird lies. The course itself isn't long, but it's not in the easiest course on tour.
It's not long. I didn't know the grass was that stuff, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that. It's that stuff that grabs your club, isn't it?
Right.
We talked about this last year at one of our tournaments, I think. So Jeff Walter is picking, hang on a second, JT.
That's a good pick too. I think that's a good pick. Solid pick.
What did he finish? Fourth last week?
Third.
Or was it
fourth
the week before that? Fourth, yeah. So he's right there.
Yeah, JT solo fourth.
And honestly, I was shocked when I looked up and saw him in solo fourth.
He had he played really well on Sunday.
I didn't watch a ton of it on Sunday, so I couldn't have told you what happened. But I haven't heard from Tony yet who his pick is. But Tony's been deadly this year. I think he's picked the top number of top winners so far. So, man, he's going to be hard to beat.
Yes,
I think he's got a bookie on the side saying, "No, pick this guy." Pick that guy.
He's got like an algorithm or something going.
He's got his own algorithm, right?
Yeah.
So there's some interesting stuff. I'd love to see some people like Matt Fitzpatrick play a little bit better. Shane Lowry, I really like Shane Lowry. You know, I'd love to see him play better.
Yeah,
he just got rid of his caddy too. So he's going down that same road. A lot of players have gone. Or get a little stale. Nothing's happening. Time to shake it up. Get rid of the caddy.
Right.
So it's the first one to go, right?
Yep.
I don't know. There's a lot of players in this. Seamus Powers, obviously, really good. Francesco Molinari, who has not done much lately. The last couple of years, it seems like he's just going down and down and down. Matt Kuchar's in this list. He should do okay, right? Kurt Kitayama's in here. Kisner's in here. Siwoo Kim, SH Kim. They're all in here. All the Kims are in it. So it's going to be an interesting tournament. So, and it's in LA again. So the time changes adds a little bit benefit to us. It's a little bit later in the day.
Right.
So we get to maybe watch a little bit of it, although you probably won't watch any of it. You'll be out of town. So
I will be out of town.
I will probably watch it on Sunday with the pups. See what goes on. So, good luck to you and to me. So, since we both got Fowler, hopefully,
I hope so, man. That'd be great. That'd be great to see him pick up a W.
Yeah, Tony's going to miss a cut this week with whoever he picks because that's kind of his.
That's
MO,
right.
So.
And forever, and for the rest of the season.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm assuming. Well, yeah, he's winning by how much? Do you know?
Oh, I haven't done the money yet, but his 3.6 million probably puts him about $1.5 million to $2 million ahead of you.
Yeah.
So that was a big win. You got to win the elevated events to win this. I think if you do well there, you're going to be fine. And you don't have to pick the winner. You just got to get in the top 4.
That's my philosophy. It's like top 10 or up. Like that's where the money is at.
Yeah. Live Golf gets going next week in Mexico. So we'll get to see a little bit of Live Golf. If you have the CW, you can watch Saturday and Sunday. I believe it's going to be aired from, 1 to 6 or something like that. So you'll be able to watch the whole thing there. On the Friday round, you have to have the CW app to watch it. So, and it'll be in every market in the United States with CW. So I'm interested to see the stats on that and see how many people are watching it and see what's there. I wonder if they'll misrepresent the stats or actually give us an accurate count. With YouTube, we could actually see what was going on and get an accurate count of what the stats are. Obviously, I think Greg will try to blow it up and, make it come across as it's doing great.
Right.
But in other countries, the only way to watch it is with the CW app. So that pisses a lot of them off because that's what they want. They want to watch Live Golf. So we'll see what happens. Wonder if Phil will break par for the tournament. Wonder if that should be a betting line.
Break par. Will Phil break par? Well, he said he was ready to compete again this year, right? Like he's been putting the work in.
Sure.
We'll see.
We shall see. I'm going to try to watch some of it. I want to see. I want to see the guys play. So see what they do differently with the broadcast. So.
Are they still broadcasting it on YouTube too? Or is
it
just CW?
Heard that. I thought it was just CW.
Okay, interesting.
So we'll find out though. We'll try to let everybody know.
Yeah.
Good goes to the Dubai Desert Classic for the second year in a row. And for the second year in a row, good members come away with the Pro-Am there. I think they shot 37 under.
That modified scramble or the shamble is crazy. Like it is a crazy way to score a tournament because the best you can get is par, right? And then
the worst you can get.
The worst you can get is par, and then your handicaps are adjusted. So like, I think Steve was at a plus 13 because they adjusted his handicap up for the tournament as well.
Right.
So every par putt he had was a birdie putt because he was getting that adjustment.
And he played well.
Insane. I mean, it's insane.
And he played well.
Yeah, he played really
well. So they're all hitting the new Callaway stuff, the Paradigm drivers and stuff.
Played with Beef.
Yeah, and Beef looked good.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, the man can strike the ball.
Yeah.
He looked great, and he looked like he was a good time, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So it's a really great video. I enjoyed it a lot. It was fun to watch. Garrett was caddying for Steve.
Yep.
I don't know what Bubby was doing other than
he was also just there, like caddying, hanging out, doing his
hanging
thing.
out and stuff. Yep. But it was pretty cool. Micah and Grant have been doing a ton of videos together, as we said earlier in the podcast. Yep. They released one with TaylorMade Pros. It was Taylor Montgomery and Austin Smotherman. So basically, it feels like they're copying exactly what Good was doing.
Is Taylor Montgomery Colin Montgomery's son, or just a coincidence?
No, just a coincidence.
I just was curious.
Tuna, I love you, and I apologize. Tim, if you're listening, you have to apologize with me. We heckled you in 1999 at the Ryder Cup.
I'm sure he has forgotten
And
all about that.
you shanked a ball into the trees and just turned around and looked at us, and we walked away after being berated by a very lovely English woman saying that was not very nice. So we agree. When we were dumb, I apologize, and I'll never do it again. I promise. So, but it feels like they're just copying what Good's doing right now. They're just like behind them doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but do your own stuff, right? Do your own stuff.
Grant has a good Grant, right? Yeah, Grant has a good series that he's doing now where he goes to golf course, kind of like what Mr. Short Game's doing a little bit.
Rates the golf courses.
Yeah, rates them. Yeah, I think that's pretty good too.
Something that we had talked about doing for a while, but
what did he play? He played a Tiger Woods
course. A Tiger design course. Yeah.
What is it called though? It's like it's a pretty prestigious golf club.
Well, here's the thing though. He didn't play from the tips.
Blue Jack National.
Was that what it is?
I think so.
He didn't play from the Tiger tees, and I was kind of questioning that for a second there. I'm like, you're good enough to play from back there. Why aren't you?
Maybe it's really long.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, whatever.
Maybe they wouldn't let him.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. So check them out. Their channels are good. I mean, Micah's up to almost 500,000.
Yeah.
On YouTube. I don't know what Grant was at, but Micah's up there.
Yeah.
His game does not look as sharp as I've seen it either. So he's spraying the driver all over the place a little bit. I know that the TaylorMade guys were gaga over his ball speed and club head speed and stuff like that, but I think he's got good game if he can get it under control and harness it. So I do like watching Grant. I'd love to have his drive every single time.
Yeah,
it's that nice little draw. It's a beautiful drive. So
yes, it is.
I haven't done a lot much. I have not done much.
Haven't done a lot much
on YouTube.
I ain't done a lot much of them YouTubes there.
Busted Jack is playing in Augusta, not Augusta National, but in Augusta, Georgia.
Yeah, I've been watching their series too. It's a good. That's a good series,
right? Yeah. I like the two of them. They're talking about polar opposites.
Oh yeah,
it'd be like you and Adam playing golf.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I see when they do it. So they're a lot of fun. Mr. Short Game is always entertaining. He's got great tips. And Matt Walter is out there on YouTube and Instagram stuff. And go check his stuff out. He's got quick little tips to help you with transitioning, with your hip fire, and all kinds of stuff. I really like his stuff. He's getting really good, I think, at it. So I haven't seen much from some of the other players that we watch regularly. So I think there's just some people taking some downtime while
for sure
the courses are there. And other than that, that's about all I got. We didn't talk much about Riviera. Is there anything you wanted to add to that before we leave?
I have plenty of stuff to go over.
Let's hit it, because this course is someplace I'd love to play.
This is an iconic golf course. I mean, this is probably one of the most iconic courses in the United States. It was designed and opened in 1926, so almost 100 years of history.
Is this a course of the stars where all the movie stars and stuff play?
I believe so, yes. This is something where you hear a lot of people. I don't know how long it's been since you've watched Entourage, but
it's been a while. But
like 6 months ago, I rewatched the whole series, and it's mentioned a few times where they're like, I got a tee time at Riviera that I got to get to. It's an iconic golf course. So again, opened in 1926. The course cost $243,000 to build, which at the time was one of the most expensive builds ever for a golf course. I did adjust it for inflation. So today it would cost only $4,075,075. Yeah.
Still cheap.
Yeah. Which I thought was pretty cheap, actually. That's cheap for a golf course, I feel like.
That's way cheap.
It's been modified a few times. The most notable was in 1992, Ben Crenshaw and Bill Core, who are also the masterminds behind Bandon Dunes and all those golf courses. They redesigned all the bunkers to make it look like it did when it opened. So since then, nothing crazy has happened. Riviera hosted the Los Angeles Open, which is what this event was called for a very long time before I think it was the Nissan Open and then the Genesis Open. From 1929 to 1930, then they stopped. for a little bit. Then in 1945, they hosted it through 1953, then stopped again. And then it returned in 1973, where it's been going on ever since. Except for 1983 and 1998. I don't know why they didn't host it those years, but that was the only time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
The course is well known for Ben Hogan, and it has been called Hogan's Alley, which is one of 2 golf courses that share that name. The other one being Colonial Country Club in Texas.
Is that in Fort Worth?
I think it is in Fort Worth, Texas, like the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yeah.
Hogan won the LA Open 3 times in 1942, 47, 48. He won the U.S. Open there in 1948, which was his 3rd win at Riviera in less than 18 months. So he dominated that place. I mean, he just completely destroyed it. Other notable winners are Sam Snead, Byron Nelson, Hale Irwin, Tom Watson, Johnny Miller, Ben Crenshaw.
Holy cow.
Bubba Watson, Fred Couples, Corey Pavin, Nick Faldo, Ernie Els, Mike Weir, and Phil Mickelson. So
that's a pretty good list to be on.
Pretty good list to be on. In 1962, Jack Nicklaus competed in his first professional tournament there, finished 50th place. Guess how much money he won?
$72.
$33.33.
$33.
And like
Holy
Jack,
shit.
Tiger Woods played his very first PGA Tour event at Riviera as a high school sophomore.
And he's never won here.
Never won. I think his best finish is second place, and he lost it in one of his only 2 playoff defeats. So
wow,
yeah, he's never won there.
I
thought it was crazy that they were like, oh yeah, Tiger Woods played his first PGA Tour event here on a sponsors exemption. He was a high school sophomore. So he was like, what?
Wow.
16 years old.
That's crazy. Yeah. About 15, 16 years old. Yeah.
That's
crazy.
This is one of the players' favorite stops on tour every year. People love playing this golf course. It has a lot of history. It's also one of the best design courses around. So I know that, this is a stop where if you are a professional, you want to play here. So cool. There's a lot. I mean, there's a ton of history here. It's just, it's one of those courses in America where it seems like anyone who has touched a golf club has played, or anyone professional of noteworthy has played here. It's kind of insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I wonder if this is the same course that there's been a couple of movies where they show it, they're actors in LA or something, and somebody lands a plane on a golf course. I wonder if this is one of those courses, if this is the course that's represented there.
Yeah,
so that'd be interesting to see. I remember hearing stories about celebrities that used to live like on the course or near the course that would just kind of walk on and drop some balls and start playing some balls and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, imagine.
That'd be kind of cool.
I thought it was interesting. So that grass that we were talking about, the Kayuya grass that's there, They didn't originally use that grass for the fairways. They had actually planted it around the golf course to help control vegetation. But the grass invaded the golf course and got so bad that they just let it take hold, and they've just been using that since.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell? It works, right?
It works.
That's interesting. So we were talking about last week about the Golficity guys and building a affordable home simulator.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back and you were like, oh, that's like a year old video. It's 2 months old. So
maybe they did it again.
I think they did it again is what they did. If you haven't watched it yet, watch this kid named Josh Mayer too. He's got, I don't know, 44,000 subscribers, something like that. But he has a series out playing 9 holes every day till I break par.
I've seen that. I have seen that series.
It's actually pretty good. I really enjoy it. He's a lot of fun to watch. I haven't seen anything from Fried Eggs Golf lately. Have you?
Nope. Nothing in a while. I think they had a video up, was it last year, like the end of last year, like aerating the greens or something.
They were doing a bunch of stuff with the green that they had built and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. I'm anxious to see the Brian Bros keep going. and things like that. Matt Walter has his golf academy on there, so check out all his stuff. He's a lot of fun. And TXG guys are picking new drivers and new irons and doing all that crap for this year. So they're testing everything. And I haven't watched what Ian picks, but he's got a new driver and new irons in the bag. So I'm anxious to see what he does there. There's a lot of good content on YouTube. Go out and watch it. There's a guy by the name of Andy Hahn, who's a high handicapper who plays these just brutal golf courses. Doesn't have a ton of subscribers, but he's starting to build some credibility because he just goes out and yeah, I shot a 68. Whatever it is, what it is. On 9 holes. So, but he's a real he's a real dude, and he's putting himself out there, and I think that's ballsy, right? Putting yourself out there. So, and Bob Does Sports is just all over the place these days. So they're just crushing it. So
golf
they do a lot of good stuff
on YouTube is crazy right now. I mean, it's in I really feel like this is like the golden era of YouTube golf where you're seeing a lot of channels pop up. Again, this is one of those things where I think it's bringing a lot of new people into the game as well, because it's more available. People that are younger don't have to have cable. They don't have to have specific subscriptions. They can just go onto YouTube and watch people that are the same age as them, play golf and learn, and they get interested from that. So it's pretty cool.
I agree. So there's just a ton of golf content out there. We only scratch the surface because there's only so much time in the day.
Right.
But we'd love to dig a little bit deeper and see what's out there. And actually kind of, I was thinking about trying to rank them or rate them, and what
the best ones,
good content, and what's fun to watch, that sort of thing. So something to look forward to in the future. What else you got?
That's really it. I think that this week has been a pretty crazy week so far. Right now, I feel like this is when it starts getting competitive. You got the Genesis Open, and then after that, what's after the Genesis? Hold on, real quick. You got the Honda Classic, which meh, right? So you have the Honda Classic, the Puerto Rico Open, which are two kind of meh events. Okay,
Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Arnold Palmer Invitational, the Players, Valspar Championship. I mean, it's going to be insanity.
Yep. Polara, the Corrales Punta Cana Resort and Club Championship, which was actually pretty good last year. The Valero Texas Open, then the Masters, and then it goes right to the RBC Heritage, which is one of those events that is an elevated again with a $20 million purse. Well, that place is going to be freaking crazy.
We're going to have back-to-back again with the Arnold Palmer Invitational. That's an elevated event. And the Players, which isn't technically an elevated event.
But it's the Players.
It's $25 million.
It's the largest purse on tour, right?
Yeah.
So they haven't said anything about live players in the Players, have they? Yeah.
Not sure. I don't know.
That's going to be interesting. Yeah, then Wells Fargo's come up. I mean, we're in May then, right? Wells Fargo, which is an elevated event. Byron Nelson, which is not. The PGA Championship is coming then, 15 million. Memorial elevated event, 20 million. That's in June. I mean, it's going to be nuts. There's a lot going on. Yeah. And then before you know it, season's going to be over in August.
How much are tickets for the Memorial?
Ooh, I don't know. We could probably get some and go though.
We should look into that, like a Saturday round or something. I doubt we could do a Sunday. I doubt we'd be able to get in on Sunday.
We could do it, but we're taking Monday off after.
That's true.
Right. So been there, done that. It's an awesome event. It's a hilly course. It's a long.
I would love to go.
Sun.
Especially now that it's an elevated event, because
you're going to see
everyone's going to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, we'll work on that. Let's put that down. It's June 1st through 4th, and we'll see if we can get a ticket or two to
early birthday present.
Yeah, let's go. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. We appreciate everyone that listens, and I still want to hear from you in Zambia and see what you're all about, see what it's like, see what golf is like in your country, and reach out to us, ampedgolf@gmail.com. You can check us out on our website at ampedgolf.com, and we're all over social media. So just type in Amped Golf. You can find us pretty much everywhere.
Yes, you can.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate your support, and we look forward to talking to you next week when we talk about the Netflix special.
And Ricky Fowler winning this weekend's tournament and getting us some sweet, sweet cash.
There you go. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.